Hello children, welcome to Acknowledge series by Amit Publication. My name is Aanchal Sethi and I am going to take up your computer series for class 2. So, this is your book children. Let's click a trendy way to learn computers, right? And today we will begin with chapter number 3 of your book, which is keyboard and mouse, right? So are you all ready? Good. Now, children, what are keyboards and mouses used for? Do you remember? Yes, they are input devices, right? They are used to give instructions to the computer. Do you remember? Very good, children. Now, in this chapter, we will learn more about the keyboard and the mouse, right? We will study in detail about these two input devices. Ready? Very good. Now, what is a keyboard? We all know that it is an input device, right? And it looks like this, okay? It has many buttons as you can see here, right? And what are these buttons called? Yes, these are called keys, right? What are these buttons called? These buttons that you see here are called keys, okay? Good. Now, what you can use these keys for? You can use them to write on the computer, and writing on the computer is known as typing. Very good. So, also these different types of keys, these are for different purposes. Now, let's see. They are alphabet keys. These are present over here in these 3 rows, right? And then we have some number keys. They are present on the top of the keyboard and also on the right corner of your keyboards, right? So, we have one set of alphabet keys but 2 sets of number keys, right? Also, we have some special keys that we will talk about later. We also have function keys which have different functions to perform, okay? And we have some navigation keys which are also known as arrow keys, right? So, let us study about all these keys in more detail. Ready? Shall we move on, children? Good. Now, quickly tell me, how many alphabets do we have in our English? Correct. We have 26 alphabets from A to Z. So, similarly, we have 26 alphabet keys, each corresponding to the alphabet, right? Now, these keys which you see are called alphabet keys, and there are 26 of them, right? Alphabet keys are 26 in number. Will you remember this? Good, children. Now, we see them in 1, 2 and 3 rows. And as you can see, all these alphabets, they are not written in a sequence. They are in a jumbled order, right? And what are these keys used for? They are used to type letters, words and sentences, right? So, these keys, we see that the first 6 letters of this alphabet keys are Q, W, E, R, T and Y. Therefore, this keyboard is also known by the name of QWERTY keyboard. Will you remember this? It is known by the first 6 characters of the first row, which are QWERTY. QWERTY makes it QWERTY, and this keyboard is known as a QWERTY keyboard. Is it fine, children? Is there any problem? Very good. Let's move on. Now, these are the number keys that we have talked about. Now, the same way we have 26 alphabets, how many digits do we have? Yes, we have 10 digits starting from 0 to 9, which are used to form different numbers, right? So, the keys you see here are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and these are 10 in number, right? So, these keys are called number keys as they have numbers written on them. Is it fine, children? Easy? Okay. Now, what are these keys used for? These keys are used for typing numbers, and they are also known as the numeric keys, right? Now, you find these keys at two places in your keyboard. Come, I'll show you. This is your keyboard. One set of number keys is placed over here, right above the alphabet keys, and the other set is at the right hand corner of your keyboard. So, we have two sets of number keys, so it makes it a total of 20 number keys, right? So, we have a total of 20 number keys, right? The first set is present above the alphabet keys as I have just shown you, and the second set is on the right side of the keyboard, and this set of number keys is also known as a numeric keypad. Doesn't it look like a calculator, guys? I am sure it does. So, it is very helpful when we have to do some calculations, right? So, it makes it easier and you can work on it like you work on a calculator. Okay, so let's see. It is also known as a numeric keypad. One thing, children, you must keep in mind that whenever you have to use this numeric keypad, your numlock key should be on, right? To use this keypad, our numlock key should be switched on, right? Very good. Shall we move on? Are there any doubts, children? Very good. Thank you. Let's move on. Okay. Now let's talk about some special keys that we have on our keyboard. Now, these keys are used for some specific tasks, right? So, there are many tasks like moving on to the next line, leaving a blank space in between, deleting some characters to the left or the right of the cursor. So, let's talk about all these special keys in detail, right? So, we have a space bar key, enter key, backspace key, delete key, caps lock key, shift keys, tab key, control keys, and an escape key. So, are you ready to talk about all these things in detail? Let's begin. So, first of all, we have the space bar key. Do you remember what this key is used for? Correct. We use it to leave a blank space between our numbers, words or sentences, right? So, it is used to type and leave a blank space in between while writing letters, words or numbers. Also, the most important thing, it is the longest key on the keyboard. Which is the longest key on the keyboard, children? Yes, it is the space bar key. Will you remember this? Good. Come on, now let's talk about the enter keys, right? while you are typing, you press the enter key once and what happens? Our cursor, that is the blinking line that comes on the screen, it moves to the next line, right? It moves the cursor down to the next line. Now, how many enter keys do we have? Correct, we have 2 enter keys. Let me show you. This is the first enter key that we have and this is the second enter key, right? Okay. So, and also they come in different shapes, right? So, we have 2 enter keys on our keyboard. Now, let's talk about the backspace key. Children, we are humans and we will make mistakes. We are not computers. So, what will you do if you commit some mistake? Yes, you will use the backspace key or the delete key for the same. How do you use it? So, while you are typing, press the backspace key to erase the letter typed to the left side of the cursor or before the cursor, right? It is usually the last key in the row of numbers. Where the numbers are written at the top, it is usually the last key over there, right? You can find the backspace key at the end of the number keys, correct? Okay. And this may look different on different keyboards, okay? So, backspace key is one key that is used to erase your mistakes and we also have delete key for the same. How does it work? Let's see. So, when you want to delete any character that is to the right of your cursor, then we use the delete key, okay? We just press the delete key to erase the letters that are typed after the cursor. Is it okay, children? Have you understood this much? Very good. Okay, now we have caps lock key, right? So, when you press the caps lock key, what happens? Your keyboard will start typing in capital letters, right? In bold letters, right? So, when you press this key, a small light on the keyboard is turned on. This light is present right over here. When you press the caps lock key, which is present here under the tab key, this caps lock light starts glowing. This means that your caps lock button is turned on and now whatever you type is going to come in capital letters. And once you are finished writing in capital letters, you can again press the caps lock key and it will start writing in small case letters. Is it right? Understood? Good. So, let's talk about the shift keys, right? We have 2 shift keys. Now, these are used to type special symbols present on the upper part of the keys. As you can see here, there are so many keys which have, see the number keys for example, they have some symbols that are made on the top of it. When you simply press these keys, what will be typed? 1, 2, 3, these numbers will be typed. And how are you going to type these characters? For this comes shift key, right? With the use of shift key, you can type these characters, okay? What you do is, you type the special symbol on the upper parts of the keys colored yellow with the help of the shift key. You use it simultaneously with the key, whatever character you want to press on the keyboard. Use the shift key along with that and the upper character will be displayed on your screen. Is it understood? Is it understood, children? Good. Now, shift key, you must all remember, children, is never used alone. Okay? A shift key is never used alone. Okay? So, we must always use it in combination with some other key. Right? So, there are two shift keys on the keyboard and both of them have the same function. Right? It is also used to type alphabets in capital when the caps lock key is turned off. So, now we have studied about two ways how you can write in capital letters. Sorry. So, first way was simply turning on the caps lock key. What is the second way? What you can do is you can use the shift key along with the alphabet key and the letter will be typed in capital. Correct? Is it understood? Try using that, children. Also, let's talk about tab key. What is this tab key used for? So, it is used to move the cursor to the right by many spaces, right? When you start typing and suppose you press a space bar key, how many places does your cursor shift? It shifts only one place, right? But if you want that your cursor leaves many spaces, then you must use tab key. Okay? It is present at the left side of the keyboard. Okay? Just above the caps lock key. Find it, children, in your keyboards. Very good. Now, we have control keys. C, T, R, L. This stands for control. Okay? Now, this key is also used in combination with other keys. Just like the shift key, we cannot use shift key and control keys alone. Please remember this. Okay? I'm sure you will. Now, it is used in combination with other keys and is used as shortcut for performing various functions that we will study later on. There are two control keys on the keyboard. We have two shift keys and we also have two control keys, right? Is it all clear to you? Can we move on? Good. Now, we have some function keys. Right at the top of your keyboard, we have 12 function keys from F1 to F12. Right? And what are these function keys used for? These are used to perform some specific tasks. Okay? These keys are present on the top row of the keyboard. These are present at the very top of the keyboard. Do you want to see? Let's go back. See here, these are the 12 function keys that perform different tasks for you, right? So, these are at the very top of your keyboard, right, children? Right. So, these keys have different functions for different programs. Is it understood? Good. Now, in our previous class also we studied about the navigation keys. What are these keys used for? Correct. We use them to move up, down, left or right. Right? So, these are used to move the cursor around in a document to see or maybe edit the text. Right? So, some of the navigation keys are as follows. First one is cursor control keys that we have seen, the arrow keys. We also have home key, end key, page up and page down key. So now I am going to tell you all about all these keys in detail. Excited? Very good. So these keys are also known as arrow keys or direction keys. These are the cursor control keys. These are present at the bottom of your keyboard, right? So they are used as I told you to move up, down, left or right of your document. So how many of them do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 and 4 arrow keys, right? So up and down arrow keys, are used to move the cursor up or down one line at a time, right? So when you press the up arrow, your cursor will move one line to the top, right? And when you press the down arrow, it will move one line down. Right, children? Understood? Same way, the left and the right arrow keys work for you. Right? Right? So, when you press the left arrow key, it will move your cursor one letter at a time. Right? It will start moving the cursor one letter at a time like this. Okay? And if you press the right arrow key, your cursor will start moving to the right again one letter at a time. Right? The up and down arrow keys move one line at a time and left and right arrow keys move one letter at a time. Remember this, children, will you? Good. Now let's talk about home key. What is this key used for? It is used to move the cursor to the start of the line. Right? Suppose your cursor is somewhere over here. Right? Your cursor is here, blinking, suppose here. And instead of moving one letter at a time, you want your cursor to straight away jump to the beginning of the line. What you can do? You can simply press the home key and your cursor will come to the very beginning of the line. Right? Okay. Now, same way, we have the end key. Suppose your cursor is somewhere over here and you want to move it to the end of the line. So, what will you do? Yes, you will press the end key and the cursor will move over here. Right? Now, we have page up key. How does this work? Let's see. It is used to move the cursor up one page at a time. Right? Suppose our cursor is somewhere down here and you press the page up key. Your cursor will move to the top of the page. Right? And if you press it again, it will start moving one page at a time. Right? Same way, if you want to move straight away to the bottom of your page, you will use the page down key. Okay, children? So, home key is used when you want to move the cursor to the beginning of the line. End key is used when you want to move the cursor to the end of the line. Page up key moves one page at a time. If you want to move the cursor up on the top of the page, use page up key. And if you want to bring the cursor to the bottom of your page, use page down key. I hope it's clear, children. Very good. Now, let's talk about the second input device, right? It is the computer mouse, right? So it is a part of computer which looks like a real mouse. Have you seen a real mouse in your houses, children? I am sure you must have. So this computer mouse also looks like a real mouse. It also has a tail sometimes, right? So it is used to point at the items shown on the monitor. So children, whenever you move your mouse on your touchpad or on any flat surface, you will see an arrow moving along with your mouse. This arrow is known as the pointer, right? So it is used to point at the items shown on the monitor. When you move your mouse around, the small arrow on the screen also starts moving along with you, right? And these small arrows are called the mouse pointers. This is called a mouse pointer. It is the mouse that we are talking about. You must remember, children, you should always place it on a I'm sorry. The mouse should always be placed on a flat surface or the mouse pad as we call it, right? So it helps in the smooth movement of your mouse, correct? Is the computer mouse clear? Now these mouses also are of many different types. Let's talk about some of them, right? So we have a mouse with different buttons. We have a 2-button mouse and 3-button mouse. A mouse with 2 buttons that looks like this is known as a 2-button mouse. It has 2 buttons, right? One is this one and this is the second button, right? These 2 buttons are left button and the right button, okay? So this is a 2-button mouse, right children? Understood? Same way, we also have a 3-button mouse that looks like this, right? Button number 1, 2 and 3. These are the 3 buttons that are there on our mouse. And these are the left button, the middle button and the right button, correct? So we have 2 buttons on a 2-button mouse and 3 buttons on a 3-button mouse. But children, nowadays both of these mouses, 2-button and 3-button mouse, they are no longer in use. What do we use these days? Let's see. So we use a scroll mouse these days. What is it? What is a scroll mouse? Let's study about it. Okay. A mouse with a scroll wheel in the middle, like you can see over here. All these mouses have a scroll wheel in the middle of the left button and the right button. So such a mouse that has a scroll wheel in between the 2 buttons is known as a scroll mouse. Okay, so these are different types of scroll mouses that are available. Let's first talk about the ball mouse. What is a ball mouse? It has a ball under it. Where is the ball? Can you see? Yes, it is right over here. It is present below the mouse. Okay? So, it has a ball under it. This ball helps to move the mouse pointer on the screen. When you move this mouse on your mouse pads, what happens is the pointer starts moving on the screen. When you move your mouse, this ball starts to move and your pointer also starts to move on the screens, right? Now this was about the ball mouse, and now we have optical mouse. This is an optical mouse, right? It uses a laser light instead of a ball. Ball mouse uses a ball, and now this optical mouse uses a laser light instead of the ball for the movement of the mouse pointer, and it is faster than the ball mouse, right? An optical mouse works faster than the ball mouse. Okay. Now, there are some mouses that do not have a wire or their tail attached to them. So, such mouses are called wireless mouse. They do not have any wires attached to the computer. So, how do they work? Yes, they use some signals, right? Uses signal to communicate with the computer. Okay? So, this is a wireless mouse with no wires attached to the computer. Okay, children? Right? Now, this is a gaming mouse. This is a gaming mouse which some of you might be using to play games on your computer, right? So, it is just like a scroll mouse, but it is a bit expensive, right? They are expensive. Now, we have a touchpad mouse also. Where are they used? These touchpad mouses are used mostly in your laptops. Remember this, children. Touchpad mouses are mostly used in laptops. So, are all these different types of mouses clear to you? Any doubts? Good. Let's move forward. So, let's talk about the different mouse actions that are performed using these mouses. Okay, so whenever you press a button on the mouse, it is called clicking, right? When you press a button, it is called clicking, right? Clicking the mouse buttons tells the computer what to do, right? That is why a mouse is called input device. Remember? Now, what is a single click? Right? You can use your mouse for single clicking. How do you use it? When we click the left mouse button, this is your left mouse button on which you place your index finger, right? You place your index finger on the left mouse button. What happens? When you click the left mouse button once, it is called a single click, right? Or a left click. It is also called a left click. Single click or a left click. Right? What is it used for? Single click is used when you want to select an item on the monitor. So, there are many icons that are present on your desktop screen, and if you want to select any of them, what will you do? You will click on that particular icon and that icon will get selected. See this example. Suppose you want to select this PC icon on the monitor. This PC icon looks like this. Now, if you want to select, what will you do? Yes, you will simply move the pointer and place it on this PC icon on the monitor, right? Simply, you will start using your mouse and bring your pointer on the top of this PC icon, and now you will simply click your left mouse button once, right? Press the left button of your mouse once and release it. Simple. This way, this PC icon will get selected. Right? Single click is clear to all of you? right? Okay. Now we also have a double click action. What does this help us to do? When you click the left mouse button twice very quickly, it is called a double click, right? Use your index finger on the left mouse button and quickly press it twice, and this will double click your mouse. What is it used for? It is used to open a document or any window, right? For selecting, you press the left mouse button once, and for opening that icon, you press the left mouse button twice. That is, you double click. Okay, so let's see an example to open this PC icon. In the previous slide, we selected the this PC icon, and now we will see how to open this icon, right? Same way, we will move our pointer on the top of this PC icon, and we will double click this time. Very quickly press the left mouse button twice, and what will happen? Your icon will open, right? For opening any icon or any window, you must double click on it, right? So, this PC window will be opened, right? Now, the right mouse button, what do we use it for? Sorry, we use it for right clicking. What is a right click? We place our middle finger on the right mouse button, and when we click this right mouse button once, what happens? It is called a right click. And when you click it once, a list of commands on the monitor is shown. Like you can see here, suppose I click on this PC icon, I right click on this, a list of commands gets opened, and you can choose the options. You can choose from the options and it will get selected, right? So, is the right click clear to you? So, we have 3 mouse actions: the single click, double click and the right click, right? Also, we can use the mouse for dragging and dropping. How do you use it? It is used to change the position of an item on the screen. Suppose there is an icon that is placed, say, over here, and I want to move this to this place, right? So, what I will do? I will drag this icon and drop it over here. And now we will see how we do it. So, you move your mouse while keeping the left mouse button pressed, right? Your left mouse button should be pressed, and you move the mouse to the desired place and simply leave the button. What will happen? Your icon will change its place. Releasing the mouse button after dragging is called dropping. So, let's see. Drag and drop action is used to change the position of an item on the screen. When you move the mouse while keeping the left button pressed, it is called dragging, and releasing the mouse button after dragging is called dropping. Right? Is the drag and drop action clear to all of you children? Very good. Now is the time that we recall whatever we have done in this chapter. So, we use a keyboard to give instructions to the computer, right? We use the alphabet keys to type letters words and sentences. The number keys are used for typing. Yes, numbers. The spacebar key is used to add, tell me, blank spaces between letters, words or numbers, right? What is a mouse? It is a part of computer which looks very much like a real mouse, right children? Now the small arrow on the monitor is called the mouse pointer, right? The touchpad mouse is mostly used in a laptop. Do you remember? Very good. Now when we click on the left mouse button once, it is called a single click, right? Or when we click the left mouse button twice very quickly, it is called a double click, right? When we click the right mouse button once, it is called a right click, right? Also, we have dragging and dropping, moving a mouse while keeping the left button pressed is called dragging, and releasing the mouse button after dragging is called dropping. Is it clear? Is it understood, children? Let's move on. Very good. Let's talk about computer manners also. What does it say? It says always cover your computer when it is not in use. Children, it is always a good practice to keep your computers covered so that the dirt and dust does not settle on your computers. Right? Now, let us implement. Quickly take out your pencils and start doing this with me. Okay. A part says tick the correct option. Okay. Number 1. Which key is used to move the cursor to the right by many spaces? So, to move the cursor by many spaces, we use, very good, we use the tab key, right? Good. Number 2. Which key is used to move the cursor to the start of the line? Remember this? What is it? Yes, it is the home key. When you use the home key, our cursor moves to the beginning of your line. Right? Very good. Number 3. Which type of mouse is not attached to the computer with wire? Which one is it? It is a wireless mouse. Very good, children. I'm sure you all must be remembering this and doing this with me. Right? Now, number 4. Which of the following mouse is used in laptops? Remember? Yes, it is a touchpad mouse. Right? So, very quickly fill these bubbles. For first, we have option B. For the second, we have option B again. For third, we have option A. And for the fourth, we have option C. Have you all done this much, children? Let's proceed. B part says fill in the blanks. Right? Number 1. The dash key is used to move to the next line. Which key is used to move to the next line? Remember this? Yes, it is the enter key. We use the enter key when we want move to the next line. Right? Number 2 says the dash key is used to erase the letters typed after the cursor. So, which key do we use for that? Right, we use delete key. The delete key erases the letters after the cursor. Right? Good. Number 3, when we click the left mouse button twice quickly, it is called a double click. Very good, children. I can see that you all are doing this exercise with me. Very good. Now, number 4 says, moving a mouse while keeping the left button pressed. What is this action called? Very good. This is called dragging. This is called dragging the mouse. Right? Let's move on. Good. It says write T for true statements and F for the false ones. Let's do it. Okay. A computer mouse should not be kept on a mouse pad. Is it true, children? Should we not place our mouse on the mouse pad? No, we must do it. So, this is a false statement and we'll write F. Okay? Second, releasing the mouse button after dragging is called dropping. Yes, it is true. So, we will write T over here. Right? Number 3, the end key is used to bring the cursor to the end of the line. Do we use the end key to bring the cursor to the end of the line? Yes, we do. So, we will write T over here. Okay? And the fourth one says there is only one shift key on the keyboard. So, how many of them do we have? We have 2 shift keys. So, this is a false statement. Right? Have you done this, children? Shall we move on? Very good. Now, can you guess which key I am? Can you guess, children? Let's start doing this together. Number 1, I allow you to move to the next line. Which key allows us to do this? Correct. It is the enter key. Right? Number 2, I allow you to move the cursor to the top of the page. Which key is used to do this? Yes, very good. Smart children. We use page up key. Right? Now, I allow you to delete the letter to the left of the cursor. So, for erasing the letter to the left of the cursor, we use, very good, backspace key. Done this much? Very good. Number 4, I allow you to delete the letter to the right of the cursor. We use, very good, a delete key for the same. Is it clear, children? Have you done this much? Is this exercise clear to all of you? Very good. So, that was all for this chapter. Children, stay tuned and stay elated for the next video. Bye, children.